It's the Score North Twin Show.
Well, it finally happened. Alex Kirilloff to the minor leagues here after like a 6-week march. On the same day, by the way, the Twins offense collected 24 hits for the first time since...
The runs, I think, were the first amount of runs since 2017, I believe. And the hits, 8 out of the 9 guys had at least one hit. 8 of the 9 guys had multiple hits. My favorite stat, though, of yesterday. So the Twins entered the game with just 6 hits, with the bases loaded all season. They had 3 yesterday.
There you go.
3.
Let's go.
Shout out to the Rockies.
Let's fire it up. The Rockies. Let's go. Hey, can we invite them back?
Oh, my God.
No,
I don't want to see them anymore.
Lodging's on us at Element Hotel. You guys.
Oh, my God.
So we'll get into the bats waking up and the Twins sending Alex Kirilloff out and what Declan's hearing on that front. We also have a random Twin of the Week here on the Score North Twin Show. But we would love to hang out with you guys, the Score North Twin Show audience and faithful, at the St. Paul Saints game a week from today. So Thursday, June 20th, we are inviting a bunch of you. So all you have to do, you just go on the Score North app. It's free to register. And you can register to win a pair of tickets and a pregame meal with us, Mackie, Judd, and Declan at that Saints game on June 20th. Pregame meal begins 90 minutes before first pitch. One of us will throw out the first pitch. That should be interesting. But you can register in the Score North app. It's free to download, and there's a listener rewards section in there. So, yeah, come hang out with us before the Saints game next Thursday night. So, okay, what are we hearing here? So, Kirilloff out, and you're hearing Austin Martin, Declan, is coming back.
Yeah, so it sounds like it's going to be Martin coming up to the Saints, which is interesting. I think there was a few options here, actually. I personally thought they were going to go with the Wallner front because, and I'll get into this later, but they already sent down Edward Julian last week, another lefty. And you'd think maybe that they would just continue to swap Kirilloff for Wallner, get a lefty up here for another lefty. Similar type of hitters to a degree. Wallner with a lot more raw power and definitely a lot more pull power than Kirilloff, who has a good ability to go the other way. But now, instead, you're going to call up Austin Martin, who gives you a completely different vibe at the plate, which I am for, by the way. He can draw a ton of walks. He can work a count. He is kind of the anti of the drive the ball with you and hit a bunch of home runs and swing out of your shoes. He is the anti that, which is great. But now Rocco has 2 less lefties in his lineup, and he is a guy and a staff that love to platoon their hitters. Austin Martin now is a right-handed hitter. So does this mean we're going to see less of the aggressive platooning that takes place with this ball club? Because they love to platoon, and platoon does typically work. I will say, hasn't worked well for Alex Kirilloff over the last 6 weeks, whether he's facing a right-handed pitcher or a left-handed pitcher. So I think if you're just looking at that, don't get too far into the weeds with it. But it is interesting because this is a staff that loves to platoon their hitters, and now there is a surplus of right-handed bats in their lineup. But I think overall, having Austin Martin up here, having kind of, again, the anti-Twins approach of how they like to swing and take their pitches, I like what they're going to do here with Austin Martin, and it was time to send down Alex Kirilloff regardless.
I think it's fair to say this, too, because Kirilloff came up. I mean, his first game was the playoff game against the Astros a few years back, and he got a hit that day. And I think it's fair to say right now that he is at an absolutely critical juncture because this kid, we've seen him going well, and he is no question a hitter that belongs in the big leagues when he's going well. But between the wrist problems and between, I don't know if he's still struggling with that or what, but between his really so far just incredibly disappointing 2024, I think he deserves a chance. I think he might be back. I think he might be fine. I don't know. But I do think that we're getting to the point where you have to wonder, okay, is this a problem with the wrist? Because if that's the problem, it's a real concern. And I wouldn't dismiss that. Is this a problem with the approach? Is this something else? It feels like this needs to get solved before it gets to the point of, man, that guy looked like he was going to have a really great career here, and it didn't materialize. Just feels like we're getting closer to that point.
Yeah, and at some point too, the Twins have so many outfield options. I mean, Wallner is another one you can tap, like Declan said. Larnick, I was trying to tell everyone before the season, like everyone's writing Larnick off. He's a former first-round pick. Well, he has jumped Alex Kirilloff in the pecking order. And a lot of their top prospects are also outfielders or could be shifted to outfield if needed to fill a role. So it's like once you've been relegated to corner outfield or first base and you're not really great with the gloves, so you're much more of a DH than anything else, you got to hit, man. Like if you aren't a wizard, I mean, the reason why Carlos Santana was signed isn't because he can still hit the crap out of the ball, although he has come alive with their patience. It's because he can field at first base. So you start to look at Kirilloff and you wonder, okay, what is it that you bring the next 2 or 3 years? If like this was the year, dude, this was your chance, your wrist and your shoulder were supposedly healthy. And now you're going back to the minor leagues, like this yo-yo act for the last 3 years. So I don't want to be like too hard on the kid because I think he's talented, but this was the time for him, the first half of this season, to become a mainstay in the order. And you thought it was happening in the first 3 weeks. He goes 4 for 4 in that game, and he's getting on base like a machine. So, at some point, these top prospects are going to be coming up, pounding on the door later this season or next year too. Walker Jenkins. So, I don't know. It's too bad. It's too bad. But Austin Martin, try him again. I do like the change of pace. A guy that can work some counts, get on base, make some contact, run the bases. He can play multiple positions. So I'm interested to see if he clicks and stays with the squad here.
And medically, I know I saw some people saying like, "Oh, I hope he's okay and I hope he's healthy." It's like, well, if he wasn't healthy, they would put him on the IL and they wouldn't have sent him down to AAA. That's clear. Now, is he maybe not 100%? Could be, but every time I have asked about this with multiple people, coaching staff members, about is there something wrong here? Because typically when he is struggling, that is a sign of a guy who has had wrist problems, is that lingering and festering up. And they said they have run tests. He is physically fine. So either a couple things have happened. Either he is like somehow hiding this injury, which again, I don't think that's possible if they're indeed doing the testing, or have they asked him to like change his approach to not aggravate hurting his wrist? I mean, that is 100% a possibility to a degree. But if things were working for the first, and it was a small sample, but if things were working the first 10, 12 games of the year, and then an approach was changed, like, I don't understand how then all of a sudden you just go completely nosedive off a cliff with your production. So I hope he figures it out. It is the third player now that has been sent down in this, kind of sophomore group of players that had really good rookie years. You saw Wallner go down early. Julian got sent down. Kirilloff got sent down. Is that a product of also, again, coaching and developing, not getting these guys to where they need to be? Or are these three hitters that had a book out on them and they haven't been able to adjust? I think both things can definitely be true.
This one concerns me the most, and here's why. Julian came up and had immediate success, and that is often then balanced out by, okay, the league adjusts to you, and now you struggle, and I have no problem, go down, and you basically have to work on things, okay? Wallner is sort of an all or nothing guy, right? As the train goes by. Enjoy the train going right by me here. Bye.
That's the Twins offense. The Twins
it's
offensive train going by.
It's Buxton.
Yeah.
He's very excited. 17 runs. But I mean, Matt is who Matt is going to be. I'm sure he will just his entire career at times get incredibly hot for 3 weeks or a month and then get cold. This one concerns me, one, because this guy has been up since essentially the age of 23. I think he's in his 4th or 5th year now. So he's been up a lot. And the other thing that worries me is I think you would describe him as this. He is a pure hitter when he's going well. Like he's got all the mechanics look great. He is a guy who should have a level of consistency, but that is lacking. Now here's the thing that the problem is. The wrist might be fine, Dex. Like the medical reports might say, hey, the wrist is absolutely fine. And Phil, you have covered the exact same thing. That doesn't mean the new normal is what he's used to. So like, let's say it's fine. Like I can't find anything wrong, but he had a bone shaved off, right? Like this was a very big deal. And I wonder if there's just a level of discomfort that he is going to have a problem adjusting to. Doesn't mean he needs to be IL'd. It doesn't even mean he's hurt. It means that the perfection he felt as a hitter is now gone, and that's a real struggle.
No, it's a good point. It's a good point, but they've got. I don't think this franchise requires Alex Kirilloff to be a mainstay. They've got enough pieces and young players coming up, and I mean Carlos Correa is probably having his best offensive season in terms of like slash line in his 3 years with the Twins.
Yeah,
Royce Lewis continues to be Royce Lewis, and they've got some other guys who are popping here. So, but if he can join the party at some point, it really adds a dimension. That's why I was so excited to watch this lineup early in the season, because like, oh my God, if Alex Kirilloff is all of a sudden going to be the Kirilloff that you thought,
Right.
but he'll have to go and fine tune it. If he doesn't mash AAA pitching in the next 2 or 3 weeks, there's like something deeper, either to what Judd's saying, inability to adjust to the new normal, or there's an injury or something. Like you would think at this point in your career, you are more than a AAA player. So he should go down there and absolutely destroy AAA pitching for a little bit and then come back up and see what happens.
Another player that I saw people kind of like pulling forward to get the call up to was Michael Hellman of the Saints. So Michael Hellman was a 11th round pick in 2018. He is primarily a second baseman. He gets on base a ton. He actually has very solid numbers the last 2 years in the minors. He's kind of played at almost every single level, and he's been dominating St. Paul Saints, or dominating with the Saints at AAA this year. I mean, and to be honest, there's now like a log jam down there with Julian and Brooks Lee and Michael Hellman. And, you know, I understand where maybe you'd love to reward a guy to make his major league debut here, but they know what they're getting in Austin Martin. He's a change of pace, and Hellman could eventually maybe help this club. I don't know. I've never watched him or really heard much of him, but I think getting Austin Martin up here to just give you a completely different change of pace is important. They know what they have in him. I will be curious if he's been able to make a lot better adjustments in the field. He can play, in my opinion, a lot better center field than I think he gets credit for. He made that incredible catch with the Saints last Friday night, and he was a little bit of a wanderer out and left, but he's going to be counted on to still play the field. So I am curious what that also looks like for him.
Is there a reason why you wouldn't make him, or at least give him a shot, Dex, as the primary backup to Buxton? Like, I'd rather have him get his days in center than in left. I think he struggles with, and this sounds dumb, but it's not. I think he struggles with the ball off the bat and left.
100%.
That's fixable with like a full off season of fly ball.
But I'm just saying, for now, I don't think he struggles in center. I'd rather see him be the primary backup to Buxton.
I thought he played a much better center field than left field, and he didn't play a ton in center when he was up here with the Twins, but I thought he played a much better center field. And I mean, Marco yesterday like dropped again like a would-be easy fly out that would have been the final out of the inning. So they've had a little bit of just trouble in general with that left field spot all season. So I think athletically, like he profiles to be a very good athlete, and he should be able to figure out left, over the course of maybe a full off season. But I wouldn't be surprised if we maybe see him more in center when Buxton can't play.
So we've now broken the code on what the locker room or the clubhouse celebration is, right? Was it the Star? Who was it? The Star Tribune, or who beat you, Declan, to the reporting on this?
Phil Miller beat me to it, of course. Phil did. So Phil got to Pablo before I did, which I will say I did ask for Pablo first, but I'm not gonna get completely down in the pecking order of what happened. Ended up talking with Royce. And then all of a sudden I look and Phil is talking to Pablo, and I'm like, I know he's telling him exactly what is behind this dang shade of whatever the hell it is in his locker. So it is a wheel of fortune. That is the best way I can describe it. It is a wheel of fortune from what I've been told, because when I asked Pablo about it, he said it's clubhouse shenanigans. That was the exact words he gave me, was clubhouse shenanigans. And behind this sheet is like this wheel, apparently, and the MVP or the highlight player of the game that they select gets to spin this wheel, and then they get to pick a prize that's on here that Pablo has bought. Pablo has bought a ton of prizes for this wheel. Okay. Now that it's out here, I want to try to figure out what's the floor and ceiling of the prizes. So Chris Paddock, who I was right, Chris Paddock was the first one to get the prize, got like a Sharper Image eye massager.
Oh,
Like he spun the wheel and he won
nice.
like this eye massager thing. So
yeah.
in terms of where that falls in the pecking order of the prize ranking, like, is that a high end or is that like a low end prize? Is there a Rolex on there? Like, is there a car on there? Like, I want to know
Can
what
you win
the
Can you
final
win
thing
like
is.
a darkness retreat or something? Yeah, we need to know the ranges.
And so a
of-
player gets like, so it's a player of the game gets to spin it.
Yeah. Yes.
How do you pick a player from like a 17-run game?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
I
a
think you
great question.
probably picked the guy that had 5 hits for the first time.
Probably
in his career.
Correa. Yeah, probably Correa got it. But that is also like who selects that. I'm not
Right.
sure if that just goes to Pablo. Is Pablo the hierarchy there that decides and makes that call? I'm not 100% sure. But yeah,
And what happens if Pablo shoves himself? They must have a designated like secondary picker.
This
Or
sounds
if he's pitching in a game, he can't just choose himself because he went 7 2/3 and struck out 12. Right?
this sounds ripe for team dissension to me.
We're gonna be arguing over
Right,
prizes.
I'm the player of the game. No, I'm the player of the game.
Yeah.
Next
Well, he
thing you know,
got the eye massager, and I just got.
Then I
like,
want out.
these
Then trade me.
Colored pencils.
what if there is? I was telling AJ about that too. What if there's just like rotten jelly beans as a prize? Like what if there is even like some bad thing? I don't think that's the case. I bet it's all pretty cool stuff. But then
How about
also
some summer sausage, maybe he's sliced
I think
into.
I think the sausage is gone. It's been replaced by the Wheel of Fortune. I'm
So
dead
they
serious.
aren't even. Are they
I
not
think
even
it's gone.
tossing the sausage to each other after home runs?
I think this is the new thing. I'm pretty sure this is the new thing.
Are they still doing the Polaroid celebration?
Yes, the
did
Polaroid
it
celebration
yesterday.
still goes, and then
Okay.
Yeah.
it hangs up on the wall next to Vasquez. He has one of the corner lockers, so he
I
hangs it up
feel
there.
like-
Can we,
all
can we
right.
get one of those to Royce, please? Can we get Hey, Christian, love ya, but can we please? Because Royce is not in a corner locker, correct?
Oh, a
Dex?
locker. What are you talking about? Okay.
a corner locker. He's not. So like he's.
Well, he's
the
like
key to your team.
he's played 80 games.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, I know what you mean, Judd, but yeah, he's barely been here, and they're not
guys-
just gonna like award him the corner.
corner
locker.
lockers are for MLB seniority, not
Yeah.
best player on the team necessarily. That's how it is in every major league clubhouse.
Yeah, not in Judd's locker
Not
room.
Christian Vasquez. No.
He's won
I
a
don't
couple
care
of
if
World
he's been around a long time. No.
One of 2 catchers to ever catch 2 no-hitters in the World Series, and won multiple rings.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know,
awesome.
man.
That's awesome. What's he done here?
My favorite corner locker dispute was when Michael Kadire signed with the Rockies, I think it was, like 2012 or 13.
Yeah, when he couldn't wait to leave here.
He had a corner locker. Yeah, he was ready. He put in his time with the Twins. He was ready.
He also saw the
90
direction.
losses.
That was my favorite. Kadire's like,
that?
hey, I see where this is going.
Yeah, he was looking around the clubhouse like, man, I don't know who's gonna fix this, but it ain't gonna be me. I had some really interesting conversations with him when I covered the end of his run there. He was always he would always answer questions. He was always the consummate pro. But he signs with the Rockies, and I had heard 10 minutes after Michael Kadire put pen to paper with the Rockies, and Danny Valencia hit up one of the clubhouse guys and was like, "Dibs on that corner locker," and they're like, "That's not how it works. It's not the first person to call dibs after
Shotgun.
Michael Kadire signs
Shotgun.
somewhere else." I think we're gonna have to find some players with more seniority than you, Danny. But maybe Danny toward the end of his career, because he had stuck around for like 10 years.
Right.
Did Danny have like a corner locker in, I don't know, Seattle or wherever the hell he was?
Oakland.
Yeah, maybe.
It's Robinson Cano, Danny Valencia.
Valencia.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Are you guys ready for a little random twin of the week action here?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. I'm
Okay.
excited.
I bring you the clues here because I lost last week.
All right.
Presented by our friends at Red Cow, by the way. Red Cow, you want to talk about corner lockers of restaurants
yeah.
in
No mess
Minnesota.
around there.
Red Cow, established in 2013, 6 locations in Minnesota, 5 in the Twin Cities, 1 in Rochester. Award-winning double barrel burgers, wings of any flavor, multiple dry rubs, snackable foods like cheese curds, chips and dip that you've got to try. The chips and dip are ridiculous. But some of the best food and 36 beers on tap, local brews, craft cocktails. You can also belly up to the bar and watch sports. Watch your favorite baseball team. You'll find the Mackeys once in a while at that North Loop Red Cow location. It's a great spot. Also, our friends at EcoFun are your summertime fun headquarters on the pavement and on the water. On the pavement side, scooters, motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, electric bikes. On the water, which you can find at their Forest Lake location, we're talking about 2024 Kawasaki and Yamaha watercraft. The sports dad and his family and friends here on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, my family.
Riding around. There's Judd right there. Look at him.
My family.
My family.
On my jet skis.
EcoFunMotorsports.com. Forest Lake and Burnsville. You can stop in. Tell them Score North sent you in. EcoFunMotorsports.com. Okay. We're going to pit Judd against Declan here in the random twin of the week. I have a series of clues. So far to this point, in the 45-ish editions of Random Twin of the Week, I have 17 wins. Declan has 14. Judd has 12. Judd's won 2 in a row with Marty Cordova and Carlos Gomez.
Go.
Before that, the Random Twins were Rick Reed, Pat Mears, Eric Milton, Dan Gladden, Al Newman, and Craig Monroe. I'll give you guys some clues. You can shout out guesses whenever you want to. If one of you hits a third strike, the other one wins automatically. No Googling. Here we go. This random twin played in 20 career playoff games.
Ooh. Okay.
This random twin played 12 career major league seasons with 4 different teams.
Okay.
This random twin was worth 9 wins above replacement in his major league career.
Ooh, okay.
This random twin once made an all-star game. In fact, the year that he was an all-star, it was not as a twin, but he was on the American League All-Star team.
Okay, I'll take a guess.
Okay.
Is it Shannon Stewart?
Shannon Stewart is...
Oh, come on,
Oh,
man.
you did it! Oh, USOB! Oh my God, you did that! I can't believe you did that. I've never done that.
it was payback. No, yeah, I deserved that. That was fine.
Wow.
For the audio audience, I gave Declan a very excited facial expression.
Oh, yeah, and you lingered. It wasn't even the facial expression. There was suspense already building there.
There is some.
I
there
gotta-
is some
okay, I gotta get back in.
Real mean-spirited stuff going
Oh,
on.
I got a nasty call in the outside zone that I thought was a ball, and now I got to lock back into this at bat here. Okay.
Yale All-Star
All right.
team.
Yep. So he played 55 games with the Twins.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
He once played in the MLB Futures game.
Glad I didn't guess where I was going to guess. So when you say he has played 12 career seasons, is his career done right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, his career is done.
Okay.
Yep. He's on Instagram. He's on Instagram. He has 1,027 Instagram followers.
I have more than that.
I was gonna say that's not that good.
Yeah, he's not
55,
Okay, so
like the most active guy.
55 games as a twin.
that's not a lot.
So 20 career playoff games. Were in any of those playoff games as a twin?
Yes, 2 of them.
Okay, only two.
2 of them. Let's see. What else can I give you? So
No, his position. Okay.
he played in that Futures game he played in. He was on the World team. So it's like World team versus the U.S. team, or I think that's how it goes. He was on the World team. When he was an all-star on that American League squad, he was teammates with 2 twins who were an all-star that year. And those 2 twins were Joe Mauer and Glenn Perkins.
Kurt Suzuki.
Is it Kurt Suzuki?
No controversy. It's not Kurt Suzuki. So
That
Judd, we'll
counts
give Judd gets the incorrect there.
Yep.
because he's,
Yep.
he
No,
rifled
I
it
guess
off
first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
No
okay.
question. So
That's
we're
fine.
1-1 on incorrect guesses. So Joe Mauer and Glenn Perkins.
The Futures game he played in was in 2001.
Oh, wow. Okay. I almost had a guess, but
His father was the owner and general manager of a professional baseball team. Not major leagues, obviously. But his father owned and was the general manager of a professional baseball team. Not in the United States, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
not in the United States?
Nope. Well, I told you he's on the world team.
No, I'm trying to think of where it'd be. Okay.
This random twin tallied a 3.49 career earned run average.
Bartolo Colon? That's a guess.
Judd guesses Bartolo Colon. Incorrect.
this guy made more than one All-Star game.
I am curious. I'm going to look up Bartolo Colon's career ERA. I bet it's right around 3.49. But probably higher, though, actually. He got kind of shelled later in his career. Right? Shelled around.
That one.
4.12. 4.
When did his career start, if you're looking at the stats?
Sure. His first game in the major leagues, his major league debut, came on July 22nd, 2001.
So I am close. Okay. At least I was in the ballpark. Okay.
He made $21
let
million
Declan-
playing Major League Baseball.
This guy did.
Mm-hmm.
21 million.
And as a minor leaguer in Double-A, some of his notable Double-A teammates included Justin Morneau, Michael Kadire, Dustin Moore, and Lou Ford.
Dustin Morgan has some real problems. Not good.
Judd has one guess left, by the way, for the audience.
Yep.
Or he loses.
Mauer, Kadire.
Dude,
Due mostly to injury, he actually did not play in the big leagues between ages 27 and 29.
Jason Kubel?
Jason Kubel.
Dude,
Three-
who is this?
3.49
Unprecedented.
ERA.
Oh, the ERA
Oh.
part. I forgot. My head's swimming right now. I don't know. Maybe he does have a 3.49 ERA, though. You don't know that.
You
Did
never
Jason
know.
Kubel ever pitch in a game? I don't know.
I don't know. You never know that.
Okay, this random twin
Oh, my God.
has
dude.
tallied 84 career saves.
Oh God. 84 saves.
Oh, my God. Matt Caps. I'll fire it.
Okay.
Is not.
God dang it. Who is it?
No, because he wouldn't have played in because he came from Washington.
That was a terrible guess. I'm sorry, but you guys are baffled by this one. This is great.
Who is it?
Judd, do you want to guess? Do you want like one more clue? I mean, it's over. Judd
Yeah,
wins.
yeah,
Judd
yeah,
wins by
yeah.
default here,
Yep. Yep.
but okay,
clue.
here's the order in which he played for these teams.
Okay.
Minnesota Twins,
Yep.
brief stop with Milwaukee Brewers, Tampa Bay Rays, Oakland Athletics, back to Tampa Bay Rays. All-Star in 2013. In that All-Star season,
Grant Balfour?
Yeah.
Grant
that's what I was
Balfour
saying. Grant
collected
Balfour.
38 saves.
Oh, okay. I don't feel bad now.
Why?
no,
you should feel terrible.
feel
That's a good
awful.
one, but no, I don't feel bad. Wait, so he was Australian?
yeah.
You didn't
Okay.
know that? I knew that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
no.
didn't. Yeah.
Dude, he's 46 years old. He is jacked still. His
Well,
Instagram.
Have you
man.
guys seen Kyle Farnsworth?
Yeah.
Okay, that's frightening.
Yeah.
Nobody should look like
Did-
he
did-
looks.
Did I totally miss did you say Australia as a clue?
I just said world. I said if
Oh,
I gave
world.
you an
Oh,
international
okay.
clue.
I was going to
Yeah.
say.
That's
If
a
I
great
tell you he's an Australian, it's like, okay.
yeah.
It's either
It's
Luke
either
Hughes or
Glenn
Yeah.
Williams.
Glenn
or
Williams.
Grant Balfour.
Yeah.
Grant Balfour. All right.
So
All right.
there it is. Judd with a third straight victory. A little backdoor win for Judd.
Hey.
The random twin of the week. This is the Score North Twin Show. See you guys.